Here we're given a polynomial. P of x equals negative 3 over 4 times x to the 7th plus the square root of 2 times x to the 3rd minus 6.5 times x to the 2nd plus x to the 1st. We're asked part A to find the degree of the polynomial, part B the coefficients on each of the terms in the polynomial, part C the lead coefficient, part D the constant coefficient, and part E the lead term. Okay, so go back to the top. The first part, part A, what is the degree of the polynomial? Well, we know the degree of a polynomial that has just one variable like this is going to be the highest power that appears on any of the x's. And in other words, it is the degree of the highest degree term that's added and subtracted together. So we see the first term has an x to the 7th, and we have no higher power of x. Therefore, the degree of the polynomial is the degree of the highest term. It's 7. Next, we look at the coefficients. Okay, to find the coefficients, I listed a sub 7, a sub 6, a sub 5, a sub 4, a sub 3, a sub 2, a sub 1, a sub 0. So a sub 7 is going to be the coefficient of x to the 7th. In other words, the x to the 7th term has a number multiplying in the front. That number in the front of that x is the coefficient of that term. So the coefficient of the x to the 7th term is the number multiplying in front. It is negative 3/4. And the coefficient a sub 6, that's 0. It's 0 because there is no a to the 6th, or I should say x to the 6th term appearing here. So a sub 6, the coefficient is 0. That's why you don't see it up there. And then a sub 5 is the coefficient for x to the 5th. That's also missing, so that coefficient that's multiplying x to the 5th is 0. A to the 4th, do you see an x to the 4th? A sub 4 means the coefficient of x to the 4th, and I don't see an x to the 4th there. So there is 0 coefficient. That's the value of the coefficient that's multiplying x to the 4th. How about a sub 3? That's going to be the coefficient of x to the 3rd. Do you see a number multiplying x to the 3rd? Of course, it's the square root of 2. So the coefficient for the x to the 3rd power is a sub 3. It's equal to the square root of 2. Okay, a sub 2 is the coefficient multiplying x to the 2nd power. What is that value? Negative 6.5. A sub 1 is the number multiplying x to the 1st power. Do you see x to the 1st power at the end? What's multiplying it? Positive 1 is multiplying it. And then a sub 0 is the constant, the number that it has no x's related to it because it's multiplying x to the 0, and you know x to the 0 is 1. So we don't see the x appearing at all. What number is multiplying that? 0. I don't see any number at the end that has no x associated to it. So the a sub 0, which is the coefficient of the x to the 0 power, it's missing, so it's equal to 0. Okay, the lead coefficient, part C. The lead coefficient would be the number multiplying the highest power of x. That coefficient is negative 3/4. It's multiplying x to the 7th power. Constant coefficient. Constant coefficient is the number multiplying x to the 0. In other words, it's the number by itself, usually located at the end of the expression. In this case, it's 0. There is no number by itself without an x. So the constant coefficient, the number that's multiplying the constant term, x to the 0, which means multiplying 1, it's just 0 because it's not there. And finally, the lead term. Now, term are things that are separated. Terms are things separated by plus or minus signs, essentially. I mean, technically, they're separated by plus signs. So the lead term is the actual entire term that has the highest degree. And in this case, it would be negative 3/4 times x to the 7th. The entire expression, the entire term, is the lead term.